Problem 13 asks, what is the missing value? Well, we need to find a pattern here. So let's see what the pattern is. We have 2 to 8. To get from 2 to 8, we have to add 6. We don't know that that's the pattern yet, but let's see if it works for all of this. So negative 10 plus 6. What is negative 10 plus 6? It's negative 4. Okay, negative 4 plus 6. Does that give us 2? Yes, it does. So this pattern works for all of these. So that means our missing value was negative 4. From this table, we could easily write a linear equation. It does not ask us to, but let's just see what we would do. We'd have y equals 6x, because the growth factor is 6, it's adding 6 each time, plus 2, because figure 0 is 2. Okay, 14. Which of the following dimensions for a rectangle have a perimeter of 42? Okay, we need to check all of these because it appears as though more than one might be the correct answer. So we're going to check all of them. First of all, we've got to look at a rectangle. So what does a rectangle look like? Just any old rectangle here. It has length, length, width, and width. And we want to find perimeter. Well, the perimeter of any shape is found by adding up all the sides. In the case of a rectangle, the perimeter is equal to 2L plus 2W. 2 lengths and 2 widths. So let's see what we have here. 2 lengths would be 24. 2 widths would be 36. 24 plus 36 would give me 60. Too much. So this one doesn't work. 2 lengths would give me 24. 2 widths would give me 18. 24 plus 18 is, well, 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry my 1 by 42. B is correct. We're going to continue with C and D just in case more than one is correct. 2 lengths would be 20. 2 widths would be 64. But we can stop here. 64 is already too big, so we know this one isn't going to work. 2 lengths would be 4, and 2 widths would be 28. 4 plus 28 is, let's see, 12, carry my 1, I've got 32. Not big enough, so this one doesn't work. Okay, Mindy purchased 17 candy bars, for $12. How much would 30 candy bars cost? So she had 17 candy bars for $12. Remember, what's important is that whatever idea is on top here has to be on top here. So if you have candy bars on top, you have to have candy bars on top over here. We know that 30 candy bars, but we're not sure how much it's going to cost. This is called a proportion. Proportion is when you have two fractions set equal to one another. And the way you solve them is by cross multiplying. It's the only time you cross multiply. Okay, so 17 times x is 17x is equal to 12 times 30. 12 times 30 is easy. We've got 12 times 3, which is 36. And then we put our 0 at the end. And that's equal to 17x. 17x is just 17 times x. But we want to get rid of that. We want to undo it because we want to know what x equals. So we're going to divide both sides by 17 to get x equals, well, what does it equal? How many times does 17 go into 360? 17 goes into 36 2 times, which is 34. 17 goes into 20 once, that's 17. So we're going to borrow here. 7 from 10 is 3. 1 from 1 is 0. Okay, so we know that exactly we're left with 21 and 3/17. So x is exactly 21 and 3/17. But we want to know how much we're actually going to have to pay. So we want 2 decimal places here. So we're going to get rid of that for just a minute. We're going to bring down a 0. 17 goes into 30 one time, and that's 17. 7 from 10 is 3. 1 from 2 is 1. Bring down another 0. How many times would 17 go into 130? Let's estimate. 17 is a little less than 20, so how many times would 20 go in there? 20 would go in there 6 times, with 10 left over. Since 17 is several less than 20, I'm going to bet that it can probably fit in there an extra time. So 7 times. Let's see what 17 times 7 is. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. Oh, look, we can look at this and tell that an extra one wouldn't fit, but we didn't go over either. So this looks promising. 119. So 9 from 10 is 1. 1 from 2 is 1. We're still not done here. Let's do one more to see whether this would round up or not. So we're going to bring this down. And we know from here that this would be a 6. It's not going to be exact. It would be 21.176. So it would be approximately 21.18. We could have done that on our calculator. So we could have said 12 times 30 is 360 divided by 17 is equal to 21.176 to check our answer here. I'd pay $21.18 for those candy bars. Okay, Sarah can write a 500-word essay in 1 hour. If she writes an essay in 25 minutes, approximately how many words should the essay contain? 25 minutes. Let's look. We don't have minutes over here anywhere. The whole reason why proportion works is because we got the same units on the top, the same units on the bottom. So we're going to have to change something. Easiest thing to do, instead of 1 hour, we're going to put 60 minutes. So then we can put 25 minutes here. And we don't know how many words, so we're going to put X words. Again, this is a proportion. We cross multiply to solve. So 60x is going to equal 500 times 25. Well, 5 times 25 is 125. And we put our zeros in, and that's going to be 60x. Okay, now we need to divide both sides by 60. X is equal to, well, 60 into 12500. 12,500. 60 goes into 125 twice, and that will give us 120. 5. Bring that down. Bring down a 0. 60 doesn't go into 50, so we got to put a 0 here. Bring down another 0. How many times does 60 go into 500? Well, how many times does 6 go into 50? It goes in there 8 times. That's 480. Left over. Okay, so we've got 20 over 60. Well, we can reduce that to 2 over 6. And we can look at it and say we can reduce that even more. That's going to be 1 over 3. Now, if we wanted a decimal, we could say this is equal to 208.3 with a line over the top. 3 is always repeating because it's 1/3. Now, you can't have a third of a word, so how is it going to round? X is approximately 208 because 0.3 is going to go down.